pen, get a notebook. First of all, we're not going to start new goals before we have even reflected on our old ones. We're gonna go over our old goals this year. So what we've achieved so far, what we could have achieved, so some habits that maybe didn't work or didn't align with what we were doing. I'm gonna be looking at my notes here, and we're going to be specific on why. For example, like I wanted to start my YouTube channel and now I'm starting it. I realized that I needed to was just putting myself out there more. So what we could have achieved and why. And we're going to see what's in our control and what's uncontrollable. So you're going to do a 15-minute journaling session on the things that I just listed. So what I achieved, what I enjoyed this year, habits that worked, and what I could have achieved this year. We're gonna look at the big picture and we're gonna set an intention for what we want. Who do you wanna be? Who do you wanna be? How do you wanna live? And what do you wanna do? You're gonna do a big brainstorming session and brain dump. You're gonna think about the relationships you want to have, maybe the experiences you want to experience in the new year. Maybe what do you want to do on a daily life to make you feel the best that you could be feeling. So we can actually visualize our daily life. We're gonna use ChatGPT so we can see what it would be like to be this person. I'm going to include a ChatGPT prompt down below as well. And the prompt is write me a dream day in my life based on the following info I'm going to give you. Be specific. After you have the daily routine that ChatGPT just gave you, you're gonna go back and review it and see if you like it and if this is really what you want. Like, is this the daily life that you want to be living? If not, just tweak it a little bit and just use ChatGPT as a starting point. I wouldn't just take it as is. I would just refine it. Now the fun part, you're gonna go to Pinterest, and I just have a couple boards named like my 2025 that I'm gonna use for my vision board, and you're going to just make your vision board. And if you want specifics on how I made my vision board or how you guys can make your vision board also, it's going to be in my separate video. I'm making this 2025 reset, basically a whole series. The third step is goal setting. You're going to start with 6 pillars. The first pillar is personal development. Second pillar is relationships. Third is finances, career, mindset, and health. I just break it down into 6 pillars because this makes sure that my ideal version of myself balanced, and it's not just like maybe so career focused or maybe so relationship focused, etc. So now that you have your goals set in the 6 pillars, and I like to do maybe 2 goals for each category. So for personal development, I would do like financial literacy. And then I would also do languages. 2 goals, at least 2 goals minimum in each category. I think this is good because you'll have 12 goals by the end of the year. So 1 per each month. You can just easily break down a goal per month. When you're making your goals, you want to make sure they are balanced and you want to make sure they are basically SMART goals. And I heard this framework also from another YouTuber. I can't remember her name at the moment, but the SMART framework is SMART is specific, M is measurable, A is achievable, R is relevant, and T is time. You want to make sure that it's a time-bound goal to make sure you're actually achieving them. So for example, if you say you want to be fit in the upcoming year, how are you going to be fit? What means fit to you? So you need to make sure it's a measurable goal. So for example, I'm going to be fit by going to the gym at least 3 times a week, or maybe just start off with 2 times a week or one time a week. Just make sure and then just slowly increase it, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself with these lofty goals and not be able to achieve them. If this is like a little bit overwhelming for you, which it was for me, I just use ChatGPT. It's really good for me at organizing information. So I'll also include I'll include all the prompts below that I'm talking about. But basically, I just said, make my goals using the SMART framework. We're gonna break down the goals. So the goals of being fit for the year. Then we're going to use those goals. We're gonna break them down into daily or weekly or monthly habits. And for example, the fitness example again, the goal is to be fit. Habit that you're gonna introduce is to go to the gym 3 times a week. Or also after you eat, you go take a 10-minute walk every time after you eat, to help your digestion. You're gonna also habit stacking. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's from the book Atomic Habits. I don't think it was introduced there, but I think that's where I know it from. So you're going to maybe pair something that you're already doing and stack it on with another habit. So you habitually, you eat at these certain times of days. After you go eat your breakfast, you're gonna go for a 10-minute walk. The act of eating your breakfast is gonna be a prompt for you to just go on your 10-minute walk. Okay? So the next thing is to actually track these habits, because if you don't track these habits, you're never gonna know if you're actually getting better or worse. You're just gonna be pretty much guided by just feeling and just thinking you're doing it, but you could actually not be achieving your goals as you would probably like to. So there's a ton of options. There's Notion, or you can just get like a physical habit tracker, agenda or notebook, and just track your habits. But what I would personally do to take out the headache of it all would be to use a Notion template that has your habit tracker in your weekly schedule, so you can just tick off, did you drink your water today, did you go to the gym today, whatever, and then it will automatically put it into the habit tracker, so you don't need to physically log it. Because if you make things more difficult for yourself, you're not going to want to, you're like, the upkeep is too much, you're not going to want to do it. So then next we're going to work on monthly targets. The monthly target of going to the gym, we're going to say, what we said, 3 times a week. So that means monthly, did you go to the gym about 12 plus times a month? Yes? No? Okay. So you're gonna set these monthly targets, and you're just gonna check in on yourself and see if you're actually achieving them, so you know if you're progressing from month to month. And it's okay if you're not achieving them exactly, but just make sure that your monthly targets and everything you're setting is flexible and achievable, because you need to be flexible, because you can't exactly be expecting to hit every single check mark every month of every single day for 365 days, because then you're likely not to achieve it. And you should just make these things easy for you. You should make it easy to make the hard choice, okay? So for the gym, you want to make sure to set out your workout clothes the night before or something like this. Like, fill up your water, make sure you're getting in, make sure you're doing all these things that just make it easy for you. There was a lot of information in this. Here's a recap of the actionable steps that you should be taking. So 1 was reflect. You want to see what you worked on, see what didn't work, and you're going to do this in a 15 to 30 minute journaling session. Then you're going to also use the ChatGPT prompt, and you're going to visualize that life that they gave you as well, paired with the visualization meditation, up with a Pinterest board if you need some inspo. Pinterest board is like the fun. Last step is the goal setting, which is probably the most troublesome part. So basically you're going to set 2 goals per 6 category. Make sure they are time bound. That's like probably one of the most specific things. You guys can say that you're going to do these things and probably not do them, because I'm very much guilty of it. And I'll say that I'm going to do this, but then I don't do it. And basically it's just down to a self-respect thing. Like, have some self-respect for yourself, and me included, me especially included. If you outline your habits, you're going to make sure to track them per month. And hopefully by the end of the year, you've achieved at least 80% of what you wanted to do. I don't think it's realistic to say that you're going to have achieved 100%, but just make sure to be compassionate with yourself and have some grace. But also make sure you know when you need to step it up and push yourself more. So thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn how to make the vision board, click my next video.